Food is political because there's always somebody that decides who eats, what it costs, and who profits. So it really all boils down to you don't buy, you don't eat. Unless you steal. But then it goes into what are the parameters of stealing? Are you stealing because you need to eat or you die? And so you took something to eat? Or is it stealing because the corporations are raising the prices on food without raising the income of the people? Like who's stealing from who? But that's a different story from a different day. So let's talk about access. When you leave your house to go to work, or when you leave your house to go to school, or to the club, or to your booze house, wherever you're going to go, take a look and see how many grocery stores you pass by. Then also take a look and see how many fast food joints you pass by. None of these things are accidental. Grocery store placement is accidental. Transportation routes aren't accidental. All of this is for financial, monetary, or political gain. Think about when you were in school. Did you get a little paper that you had to take home for your parents to sign to tell what their income is to determine whether you got free lunch or you had to pay for lunch? Have you ever forgotten to get that piece of paper signed and you had to walk through the lunch line and give your tray back to the lunch ladies and they give you a tuna sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a ham and cheese sandwich and they tell you to carry on about your day? Isn't that bonkers? Food insecurity is not knowing when or where your next healthy meal is going to come from. So just because you got food in the fridge doesn't mean that you're being properly fed, because you can't survive off of white bread and deli meat and frozen pizza rolls and things like that. If you can't leave your house and walk to go find fresh food, that means you live in a food desert. And if you're from the hood or you've been to the hood or you've seen a hood, you'll notice that there's not a lot of Walmarts, not a lot of Harris Teeters, not a lot of Publix, Food Lions, ShopRite, Stop and Shops, things of that sort. But what there are hella Dollar Generals, hella Dollar Trees, Family Dollars, convenience stores. And yes, they technically serve food, but that's not food meant for long-term human consumption. And if you didn't know that kids need nourishment to thrive, I need you to not have children or do better if you already have children. Because food insecurity not only leads to the reduction of potential emotional, behavioral, and physical output from your child, but people born into poverty usually stay in poverty. And those people usually have children that are what? Born into poverty. It's a cycle that just repeats itself and it's being perpetuated by the lack of knowledge, organizing, and mobilizing. So what do we do about that? I can say vote better. That's the obvious answer. I can also say we need to take vacant lots and turn them into food sanctuaries, pantries, greenhouses, community gardens, things of that sort. I can also say that we need to start introducing more cooking classes into our community. I can also say we need to start supporting our local farmers and putting emphasis on farm-to-table eating. I can say all those things. And I can say that it's the right thing to do, it's the correct thing to do, and you would agree. The problem comes when it's time to become actionable. Organizing does not happen overnight, it doesn't happen quickly. You need multiple people with similar mindsets to be able to get together. Once you have those people together, then you can start being actionable and mobilizing. But until we live in a society where people aren't doing things for clicks, likes, shares, and clout, nothing is going to change. That's the hard truth of the matter, that's the fact of the matter. And so all I can really do is use my voice to share my thoughts, my opinions, my aspirations, my dreams, and hope that it reaches people who have similar mindsets. That's it. That's all. And if you haven't been following me for the last few weeks, you may not know that I am traveling the States. I quit my job, and I'm chasing my dreams of creating a chef's network to perform collaborative chef's tables. And within these chef's tables, we are going to be raising awareness and bringing attention to food insecurity and food injustice to lower income communities. So if you'd like to support that, you can either click the link in my bio, or you can share this video, or if you are a chef and you'd love to collaborate or talk more or get involved within this network, send me a message or comment, whichever is more comfortable for you. But yeah. So yeah, to summarize, food is political because everybody needs to eat. Anybody that's ever been born and everyone that ever will be born needs food. It's not something on the docket that we can circle back to. It's something that needs to be talked about today. It's a problem that's been ongoing. Food insecurity is a silent fight. A lot of people don't even know that they're food insecure, because if you ask them, what did you eat last night? They're going to tell you what they ate last night and think it was perfectly fine. But the big problem is that we don't know what's fine to eat. We don't know what's good and what's not good, especially if you live in a minority community. We don't go to the doctor like that. We don't have dietitians and nutritionists that are able to tell us, hey, listen, within our community, yes, we do eat a lot of fried foods, a lot of heavy sodium foods, a lot of high blood pressure causing foods. And we need to slow down and replace it with these alternatives that will allow us to live longer and feel better about ourselves and be able to progress like everyone else. And it's all political. It all falls under politics. So I will say, do your research on who's running for your local office and vote better. I will say, support your local farmers. I will say, learn about farm-to-table dining. Get involved within your community. If they're doing a community garden or if doing food pantry, see where you can fit in. Do something, anything, honestly.